Cancer. Thank you for joining me for your April 2018 Astro Tarot forecast. I am thanking you so much for your likes and subscription to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. I am using a new card every month, a new tarot deck every month. So this is the Lover's Path Tarot by Chris Walder, and this is what the back looks like. We have a lot going on this month, starting on the 2nd of April. This is a day to circle and a day to not be reactive to any energy coming your way and coming to you from the 7th house of relationships and significant others. This is a day for you to tread lightly in your marriage, in your business partnerships, and this is due to an exact conjunction between Mars and Saturn at 8 degrees in Capricorn. Also, Pluto is stationed in that sector, so the combination of this planetary energy is combustible, and it's occurring in the 7th house of partnership for you. So, authority figures, power struggles with male figures because Mars is involved. There's this leadership, masculine energy here, and it's best to not react because there could be a controlling or an aggressive tone to this restrictive energy present. And it's a day to absorb, witness what's happening, but not take a stance against it or not to verbally react. Mercury is retrograde the first half of April until the 15th. So how you are expressing yourself isn't coming out as crystal clear. So avoid getting involved in power struggles on that day. On the 7th, 8th, and 9th, our moon will transit over those planetary placements in Capricorn, and this lends to an intuitive awareness. If you didn't know what was going on the 2nd, by the 9th, there's clarity. And with the same theme, though, there's an aggravated, tense energy in the 7th house of marriage, of who's controlling the marriage, who's dominating the business partnerships. There could be this oppressive energy taking place, and also deconstructive energy is available here in April. On the 26th, Pluto is retrograde conjunct Mars exactly at 21 degrees. So there's a dynamic, aggressive, physical, and even deconstructive energy occurring globally. We'll see this apply to our leadership and our governments and the men in it. Now, we should be having a lot more women in that government soon. So right now, though, there's a fight for control, and we could see this. The 26th is also a day to circle for some environmental issues and Mother Nature issues and shakeups. So I'm sure our CNN report banners on our phones will be going off on the 2nd, 7th, maybe 8th and 9th, and the 26th in particular. On the 14th, Jupiter is sextiling Pluto, and this brings a benevolent, harmonious energy in between the sector of your children and your spouse or your relationship. The sector of children and how you are mothering and parenting or connecting with your children is blessed this entire year. Jupiter's resting in this 5th house of creativity and fertility and the children that you have. And this is a time for pleasure being in this role if you're a father or a mother, connecting with your children and doing so as a partnership somehow is important. Showing them that it's not just you. Now, if you're not in a relationship, this could mean making yourself fully available to them on or around this time period. They might require a lot of your undivided attention as well. On the 15th, Mercury finally goes direct. Also, just wanted to say, if you don't have children, your creative endeavors here, and this could also apply for you with children and having entrepreneurial business endeavors, very creative time period on the 14th for you, and you could change your direction in terms of your marketing or your creative business. Mercury's direct on the 15th at 4 degrees of Aries, and our new moon is the 15th at 26 degrees of Aries. And this is in the career sector. All of this is conjunct Uranus, spontaneous developments in career. The new moon conjunct Uranus is electric, new beginnings in your earnings, in the limelight position, title changes, status changes, promotions can come through. Chiron and Juno are also moving into Aries on the 17th to the career sector, adding to healing that needs to occur here and healing any ego wounds that Cancerian people have in terms of career and resentment. The Sun enters Taurus on the 19th, and this is amazing for your social connections, your internet online presence, you're marketing yourself globally to the world. Also just relating to your personal friendships at this time. You're attracted to this area of your life. And then you're also attracted to some peace and quiet come the 24th of April when Venus enters Gemini in your quiet, restful sector. Peace and quiet for Cancer. And then the full moon on the 29th at 9 degrees of Scorpio. This trines any placements you have in Cancer, and it's conjunct Jupiter. Our full moon on the 29th is going to be so visibly big. Unbelievable. In the 5th house, closure to creative endeavors, finishing a project deadline, illuminating something that needs to be seen in that relationship with your children. Let's do the cards. I am inspired to read them. The 29th is a happy time, and you might have some luck on the big wind moon in a gambling venture because of that 5th house being inspired of risk-taking, conjunct Jupiter, prosperity, 5th house of gambling. So if you're going to Vegas, the 29th is a day to bet a little bit on that roulette wheel. But don't bet more than you can lose. Okay, Cancer, here are your cards for the month. Balance. This is the card of Temperance. It's the sign of Sagittarius in the Tarot. Venus and Vulcan. Venus is in Gemini in that quiet sector, and you might find balance, patience, moderation, and quiet when Venus enters that sign of Gemini on the 24th. Moderation is important for you, Cancer. You could eat and drink in excess just because you're a Cancer. And that's what we do to nurture and comfort. We like our comfort foods and fettuccine sauces and, you know, all things thick and rich. But you need to balance at this time. 4 of Coins. She's come up a lot in these readings. Security, property, protection, savings, and stability. Some of you could have been left an inheritance from someone that has passed, and you are building upon that at this time. Oh, 8 of Cups. I just wrote about this card last week on my Instagram page. I decorated it. The 8 of Cups. You don't need to be sad about people who are no longer able to keep up with you or who have passed. Look to the new moon on the 15th. Oh, and when Chiron leaves Pisces and enters Aries, look for that as a time of healing for you. Sadness about loss and missed opportunities, people who have died, things that have passed you by, and I use air quotes. Nothing is as it should not be, meaning there are no mistakes. I feel you need to draw from these experiences and move forward. A lot of Cancerians have a burden placed upon them, and you're trying to release it. Use the time of the full moon to release burdens, and you can do so by literally speaking of their release, saying you wish for them to be taken away. Say it aloud under the moon, like a witch. Also, you can use physical activity such as meditation, yoga, working out to release literal fire, sweat, stamina. Physical activity might be needed. But Cancer, it's time for you to release emotional burdens and physical burdens. What I'm getting is some of you might be just telling yourself that you can't. And if you keep yourself on I can't, then you bet that you can't. So switch the thinking to I can and I am and I do. I do. 7th house of marriage. And then you will and can. And you be. You're meant to kind of tell yourself that you have the security that you need always, effortlessly, every day, in every way. And take a sense of solid foundation, security. Just own that Cancerian trait and create the powerful alignment for yourself in career, in the work, in the home environment, and in your relationship environment. I hope that this reading was helpful for you, Cancer. I'm wishing you a sweet April. And remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.